The new update in Frostborn is without a doubt the best update Kefir has ever made. So the first big update that you need to know is that if you have been storing items in sacks, like if you've been dying and you've been storing the items in your sacks, all of that will disappear after 1 hour after your first family member logs on. So if you are the first family member to log on, make sure to run around the base and collect all of those items so that your teammates don't lose everything. The second thing you need to know about this update is that as soon as you log on, you will get 3 new neighbors. These neighbors can raid you immediately and you can raid them for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes is done, you can rebuild your base for 30 minutes and you will get a new neighbor at the hour mark. Now that may be scary at first, but the most important thing about this is if you don't log in, you will never get raided. As long as you stay off the game, you will not get new neighbors and you will not enter into a raiding hour. So make sure that you and your team are coordinating so that you're all logging in at the same time so that you can defend your base during that time. This is a fantastic update because it allows you to take a break from the game and come back when you're ready to play. And so you can only play on the weekends. You won't have to worry about losing all of your stuff. You can always be on there to defend it. But because that means that there's going to be a lot more raiding, there are some really important things you need to know. The first one is that in your inbox, unless you're a new player, then it'll automatically be there. In your inbox, you will see a hatch. Hit claim on that hatch and then go ahead and build it. There's only one place on your entire base that it can be built, so you might have to move an item to be able to build it. Once you build it though, you can go inside, which enters you into your personal vault. This vault has 25 slots that you can put whatever you want in there and it cannot get stolen. No one can enter your vault. And then once we add the steel pickaxe, which they have added into the blueprints of the game, which we can't build yet because it requires some oak planks, but when we're able to build it, we're going to be able to expand the vault and store more items. So advanced players will be able to keep even more valuables in there and no one can raid it. So even though there's a lot more raiding, there is a ton more stuff that we can have as just our own. Now it is important to note that you can still hide all of your personal items out in the normal base because no one can raid personal items, which while we're on that note, the personal items are no longer its own rarity. It's just that icon. Items now have their own rarity and orbs of protection have been changed to very rare, the purple status, which makes sense. But also they did remove the small stash and all of the items that you had in the small stash should be in your vault. Another note on this is that you cannot build for those first 30 minutes. You have to wait until after the 30 minutes of raid window and then you can build in that latter 30 minutes. They also added a diplomacy table in the blueprints. It's really easy to make and it now forms the function that the totem used to. Now the totem just takes orbs of protection, which protects your base no longer 48 hours but 24 hours, which means you can get on during those 24 hours and not worry. You'll get more neighbors but they won't be able to raid you. They also did not change anything about workbenches and items on your body. So if you have not seen my video on how to defend your base and how to protect your stuff, that video is still really good. It will teach you how to protect all of your stuff so that you can have more than just that 25 items. You can have now over 200 items. They switched the positions of the take all and put all buttons. They took out all of the higher tier chests out of the blueprints because now you upgrade the chest instead. They changed the look of the energy drink. The first guy in Odin's dungeon can no longer be snuck up on, and they increased our energy level to 200 because of the isolation, but I'm assuming it'll go back down to 100 after the coronavirus settles down. So in my opinion, this is the best update Kefir has ever made because the biggest problem with Frostborn is that we could never stop playing. We would lose everything. And so now you can take a break from the game. It is still a really intense game. It is a multiplayer game and you do have to play it seriously, but that's what a lot of us like. We like to play a game seriously. And now with this vault, we can store 25 items and then as we expand it, we'll be able to store even more items and we'll be able to have more and more of that horde that's like, this is our amazing thing and it's safe. Even the stuff in our base will be safe as long as we protect it. But even if we get overrun by someone who's way more powerful than us, we know that these 25 items will never be taken from us. We will always have those prize items. And that's amazing because then you can never be truly wiped out. You can also store a lot more items than this, but remember, check out my video on how to defend your stuff, but it definitely gives us at least 25 that everyone, even if you're not playing smart, you can keep these items. So amazing update. This was a brilliant move, and I think it's the future of Last Day on Earth, Grimsoul, and Frostborn. I think this is a perfect blend of how multiplayer will look in all of these games. This video was sponsored by Red Magic. I play on a Red Magic 3S, which I love, and I could not recommend it more to you guys. It has amazing specs, awesome gaming triggers, and so much more. If you want to know more about this phone, make sure to check out my non-sponsored video about this phone called How to Get More Buttons. I also put information in the description and pinned comment of this video. Well, that's it guys. Hope that helps. I make videos on all kinds of games, but every Friday I make an extremely high quality video for all gamers of all games. Sometimes those are exhaustive overview guides of new games that I think you should try, and sometimes I talk about a gaming concept with the hope that it blows your mind. If that interests you, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on those. Alright guys, I'll see you next time.